After a week on the Istrian Peninsula, but before making our way down to the Dalmatian coast, we took a detour to Zagreb. Our plan for Croatia had been to spend as much time along the coast and islands as possible, but we were also curious to see what the capital had to offer. Known for its lively street markets, vast green spaces, and varied architecture that spans numerous movements, we reached the capital and hit the ground running. In this video, we're going to show you some fun things to do in Zagreb, as well as share our favorite place for sampling the most delicious truffle dishes. Alright guys, first stop of the day, we're currently at the main square in front of the Jelačić monument, I believe it is. It's a man on horseback, and yeah, there's a huge artisanal market happening today, and actually every single day we've been here, we've noticed this market. Yeah, and this market sells just about everything, what they really specialize in is some yummy bites, so. Yeah, we've seen a lot of pastries, but also cheeses, sausages, so we're gonna have a look and maybe get a little snack. Yeah, let's do it.
However, this isn't the only market in the city. Just around the corner from the main square, you have the flower market, and if you head up the steps, that leads to Zagreb's Central Market, which has stands filled with fresh fruits and vegetables. A fun place to buy your groceries if you're in town for a few days.
Alright guys, so we found ourselves a little dessert. This is not Croatian at all. I ended up getting crepes with Nutella because anytime I see Nutella, it's just too tempting. So it was only 10 kuna, which would be about €1.50. So not too bad for the center of town.
This kind of harkens back to our Southeast Asia backpacking days, huh?
Oh yeah, pancakes with banana and Nutella.
Yeah. You know, it just makes for a good dessert. We had a big burrito for lunch, so yeah, we're kind of craving a little bit something sweet.
Kind of light little snack.
Yep.
But it's good.
It's good stuff, huh?
And now that we've had some dessert and we have a little burst of energy, we are continuing our walk. We are heading uphill towards the cathedral. Zagreb Cathedral is one of the city's main landmarks. This is said to be the largest sacral building in the Gothic style southeast of the Alps, and it's pretty easy to spot the spires wherever you are in the city. Inside the cathedral, you'll also find the tomb of Cardinal Aloysius Stepinac, which draws many pilgrims. When you exit the cathedral, you'll notice a tower towards the right. When we visited, they had an exhibition called Golden Threads that showcased religious tapestries and garments. Admission was free of charge, though donations were welcome.
Our walk through the upper town eventually led us to Tkalčićeva Street. Once upon a time, a stream flowed through here dividing Zagreb's two oldest settlements, but these days you'll find a lively street lined with restaurants, cafes, and bars. This is a popular place to grab a bite, and you'll be spoiled for choices with cuisines from around the world.
From there we continued even further uphill until we reached what may be the most memorable museum in the whole world, the Museum of Broken Relationships.
The concept is pretty simple. This museum is a global crowdsourced project that deals with heartbreak. Inside you'll find a mix of curious objects, each with a corresponding story that describes the downfall of the relationship and the significance of the submitted object.
So, we have just come out of the Museum of Broken Relationships. Thoughts?
My heart's throbbing.
Yeah, right.
But anyways, some of the stories were quite fascinating, and I found it really interesting, the types of objects that were selected.
Oh yeah.
Some were very common household items, and others were very creative. So
there were axes in there.
There were some that were very violent. Others, I think there was a museum, I think there was a modem router as one of the other ones.
Oh yeah, an internet router.
Yeah,
that was a random one.
It was just a very random collection, but really what you want to do when you go in there is read the individual stories.
Yes. So next stop, we are currently in front of St. Mark's Church, which has the most colorful roof I have ever seen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and the light is shining on it just perfectly. Like we're just getting some great shots right now.
You know, it kind of reminds me of the roof on St. Stephen's in Vienna when we climbed the cathedral. It was also colorful, but this one's like way more intense, and it has two, is it emblems?
Yes.
What do you call that?
Exactly, there's two emblems.
Two emblems on the roof.
And they're shaped like shields.
Yes. But the church looks closed, so I don't know. We're gonna walk around and see if we can get in.
We'll see if we can get in.
St. Mark's Church bears the medieval coat of arms of Croatia, Dalmatia, and Slavonia on the left-hand side, and the emblem of Zagreb on the right. Okay, so it turns out that the first set of doors was open, but now the second set of doors is locked. So we're gonna have a little peek through the glass.
So far, we've shown you churches and museums in the upper town, but another reason to come all the way here is to enjoy some city views of the lower town. There are some great vantage points along the promenade, plus we also ended up stumbling across some cool sculptures and street art.
Being buds.
My new bestie.
You know what? The way he's shaped, it's like you could perfectly take a nap on his lap. Like seriously, that's perfect for leaning down.
I feel like I could use one now.
On our way down from the upper town, we walk through Zagreb's famed stone gate. It may not look like much from the outside, but what was once the eastern gate into the medieval settlement now houses a small chapel. The story goes that the fire of 1731 destroyed the gate, but when the fire and smoke subsided, it appeared that one thing had remained intact, a painting of Virgin Mary with Jesus. This was seen as a miracle, so a chapel was built within the gate, complete with pews, and you can see people coming to pray, light candles, and even offer their thanks for answered prayers, as seen on the walls of the gate.
And now let's take a break from the sightseeing to introduce you to one of our favorite restaurants in Zagreb when it comes to truffle dishes. You were sold by a couple items. What were they?
Everything with truffles.
Everything with truffles.
Polenta with truffles, pasta with truffles. Let's go in. Well, hello. It is time for lunch here in Zagreb, and we found a really cool restaurant, like right around the corner from our Airbnb. But anyways, today we figured we would showcase some Croatian dishes, and we're specifically going to be focusing on anything and everything with truffles. So I believe, Sam, you got a risotto.
Yes.
I got a polenta. And yeah, truffles are going to be like the main thing.
That looks so good.
Wow. That looks so good, Sam. Oh my goodness, guys, so the food is here and it looks amazing. So like I mentioned earlier, I ended up getting the polenta, which is really cool. They kind of cooked it in like a circular fashion and then sliced it. And in between, I have like this red cabbage. And also, then he came to the table and he brought his little truffle and he actually like sliced it onto my meal. Like, it was amazing.
It's pretty phenomenal.
So excited for this. Yeah. So yeah, let's dig in. Polenta and truffles. Oh my gosh.
Good.
I just love truffles. I've only had it a few times in my life. I think probably just in Italy, but it's so good. It's like black gold.
You tend to like the finer things in life.
Ooh, yes. Oh man, I want to just like shave off a little piece so I don't waste it. But seriously, like all you need is like a little piece, and it has such a strong flavor.
Wonder bar.
And this is what we came for.
This is what we came for, exactly.
Right here. Okay, Sam, so time to try your main.
So, before I even try it, I've just got to talk about the procedure of this whole thing.
Yeah.
So, it was plated at the table. So
yeah, they came out with the pot.
Yeah, it was like the saucepan, and they served it right on the plate.
Yeah.
And then they came and did the whole truffle grating business that they did on yours.
Yeah.
And then he asked me if I would like to have cheese, and I said, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So he came back and grated cheese.
He had to ask you, is that enough? Because you weren't saying stop.
Oh yeah, he was going. I was busy filming it, so I wasn't paying attention. So it is going to be very cheese heavy. Anyways, let's try that. So I'm going to make sure I get a piece of truffle.
Yeah.
I'm going to dig down deep. so I get a bit of everything here.
And you got the risotto with prosciutto, pine nuts, and truffles.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on.
All right, let's try that. I can't wait to try yours.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
What do you think?
Wow. Well, I'm a huge risotto fan, and this is right up there with being really high quality. Like, they've cooked it to perfection. The risotto itself is just cooked perfectly, and then on top of that, you got a creamy sauce. You've got the meat. You've got all the cheese. You've got the truffles. It's just like it's something wonderful taking place in your
All right, I can smell that from over here.
Oh
so
my gosh, that's so good. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. I'm enjoying this so much.
It's been so good.
I will share this with you, but not too much.
And craving more views of the city, we then went up Zagreb 360. Okay, so we have made it to our next attraction. We are visiting Zagreb 360, and basically we rode the elevator to the 16th floor of this really tall building, and we get some pretty cool views of the old town. So tickets, it was 60 kuna per person. That's about $9 US. And yeah, the views are pretty cool. Sam, what do you think?
Loving it. We picked the right time to come because all of the buildings are being like hit by the sunlight in this direction, so we came.
Yeah, we have
just
nice
the right
soft
time.
light.
Nice soft light. It's kind of late in the afternoon.
And one more thing to mention, there's a cool cafe. So after you're done enjoying the views, you can actually eat up here.
You could, but we're still digesting lunch. We had the biggest lunch of all time, so yeah, we won't be doing that, but it's definitely an option.
So the Zagreb city exploration continues, and next up we're going to be visiting the famous U-shaped park, which is technically like two different strips of park plus the botanical gardens on the bottom. So we're starting at the park that's right across from our Airbnb, and let me read the name because this one is a mouthful. So it's Park Josipa Jurija Strossmayera. So
yeah. It's really a big park, and
it really is.
At the
it's really long.
At the very end of it, there's a couple of major landmarks that we'll be showing you as well.
Ta-da!
Known as the Green Horseshoe, this park was named after Milan Lenuci, who came up with the idea of creating connected green spaces right in the downtown. The Horseshoe is home to several museums, galleries, and archives, so it also makes for a fun way to explore Zagreb on foot. Second park, so we've reached the bottom of the U, and I'm just sitting down taking a little rest at a park bench, but we've reached the Botanic Gardens, and it's awesome. It's my kind of place. You know why? Because it's free. It's a free attraction.
Oh my goodness.
I love free attractions, and it looks like a really nice Botanic Gardens. It looks quite big, so we're just gonna take a wander around and see what we can find here. Go watch some hockey.
As a bonus, if you're into hockey and you visit Zagreb during the season, you can catch a game right here in the city. We watched Medveščak Zagreb play, and judging by the chanting, drumming, and top of the lungs cheering, this team has a loyal fan base.
And that's it for our visit to Zagreb. We hope you enjoyed this travel guide, and then you got a few ideas of things to see, eat, and do on your own visit. Wishing you happy travels, and we'll see you in the next video as we continue our travels down the Croatian coast.